Today, it's about teamwork. It's about working hard. It's about having that discipline. It's about having that faith that you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish.
A pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network as we continue with our spring football recaps and our fall camp previews now. And you can tell by the helmet on the desk tonight, we will be taking a look at the Bayside Bears. And I'll tell you what, I just absolutely love talking to this guy. He is, I just get inspired when I talk to this guy. I just do. And I'd run through a brick wall for him. And if I was playing, he's the type of coach I would definitely want to play for. Please help me welcome the head football coach for the Bayside Bears, Mr. Billy Miller. Coach, how are you?
Better than I deserve, man. Just in the middle of summer workouts and blessed to be doing something I love to do.
Coach, I know, you're going into your fourth year. I know numbers at times can be an issue for you down there. How are numbers looking for you over the spring?
No, we were good. I mean, we had north of 55 dressed for the spring, and it was a good spring for us. But we're super young.
Yeah.
And then the climate we live in, there's a lot of, the rosters are a transient nature sometimes. Right. But the kids have been working their tails off because we started up when we got back from Thanksgiving break. So we've been at it. And really, that's the only way I know how to do things. So, the kids have been working hard. But like I said, we're going to be a young group this year.
Now, did you play a spring game this year?
We did a modified spring game. We went down to St. Edwards.
Okay.
Because they were down kind of numbers-wise, too. And we went over and did some we did a little bit of 7-on-7 with them, didn't just work some situational scrimmage stuff. It was more of a controlled deal, but we did a 12-minute scrimmage with our varsity kids and then a 10-minute scrimmage with our JV kids.
Okay, and Coach, let me ask you this. Day one, what were your expectations for when you walked out on that field? What did you expect to see? And what did you find?
Well, we knew we had to grow our offensive and defensive line, and you know what my philosophy is. If you can't play on the line of scrimmage, you're going to struggle all the time, no matter the athletes that you have. Right. But we expected competition. We did get that. We got some growth from all of our kids. Obviously, we're not near where we want to be, but we accomplished the goals of getting some guys some experience. And then the coaches being able to figure out, hey, where some kids belong and kind of be able to fill some of the holes that we anticipate having in the fall. And we got some good film and good game experience.
Who stood out for you, Coach, during the spring? Who really turned the jets on for you?
I think the biggest thing we had was our team bonded well. Was number one for us. But we did have some individuals that did well. Elijah Randall's a defensive end for us. That's going to be very, very solid. I got a young center. He doesn't look like a center, but he's a lightweight fella. But the dude just does everything the right way. And if we can just get him to put a little bit of weight on and continue to do what he's supposed to do, because he knows what to do. He understands the offense. We had good competition in our quarterback room group. But I think our strongest group is going to be our running backs. We got a senior returning who played a little bit of defense last year, didn't play running back. We moved him, Carter Westrom, and he did phenomenal. And Zion Jones he's going to be real special. He's also a track kid, and dude ran really, really hard. He's got some good top end speed, but he'll also just put his foot in the ground and run you over, which I love. And then Carter, a little bit more of a slasher, But I think overall, those are the groups that probably grew the most for us.
You and I have been texting back and forth, and you mentioned to me several times how much you really like this group. And so, talk a little bit about that bonding and how they were able to do that in a day and age where this is all they live on.
Well, part of the reason is that we don't take an off season. We take a little bit of time off around Christmas, but as soon as our season's over, when we return from Thanksgiving break, we're back in the weight room together. I have them all in a 0-period class, so we go before school. So we lift, even in the summertime, we're going before. I kind of stole the morning practice idea from Coach Panucci over there at Melbourne, and we've been doing that all year. We did it in the spring. We go from 6 to 8 in the mornings, and those kids it's kind of like, like your parents used to say, we got some forced family fun. We're around each other all the time. And that was by design to get these guys to kind of grow together and just, learn each other. And much like a family, it's not always pretty, but family's family. And, we've been able to grow in that. And I think the bonding has been the fruit of that labor.
My mom's favorite expression was, "It ain't always going to be wine and roses." It ain't always going to be wine and roses. Here with Billy Miller.
Exactly right.
Yeah, Coach. You took over. I mean, you've had an extensive coaching career. So let me ask you this: what's different about you from the day you took over at Bayside to now? What would you say the biggest difference in Billy Miller, the head coach, is?
I think I'm more patient.
Okay.
I do a better job now of seeing big picture and being able to take things on. I'm a defensive guy, and they always say, when I played linebacker in high school and college, they said you got to have your head on a swivel. And my head's on a swivel all the time because there's always something coming that's trying to derail what we're trying to do. And I think just that growth for me has been one of the biggest things I've learned moving into the role as the head coach, because it is a lot different.
Yeah,
you got to wear a ton of hats. One of my favorite things to do is just to be on the defensive side of the ball and take care of that. And I've enjoyed that, and I've kind of gone back to that role a little bit now, in addition to my head coaching role. But I think just the growth of the patience, and then just being able to take on when things don't always go our way, or when things change, and being able to kind of adapt, improvise, and overcome.
I like that. I've got my brother, of course, was in the Marine Corps, and he uses that term a lot: adapt, improvise, and overcome. Coach, well, let me ask you this: what are you guys going to be doing the rest of the summer? I was looking at your social media page, and I know you guys are in full workouts. You competing in any 7-on-7? What's going on for you guys this summer?
We don't do anything. We don't have right now the talent to go be competitive at some of the ones at the big schools, but we compete with other schools,
right,
on an individual basis, and do things as part of our workout there. And then we're trying to get better at what we do. I'm more focused on getting Bayside better. So we spend the majority. I think the best way we could develop is being in the weight room. And again, that's going back to feeding that idea of building a bond, because we make it pretty tough. And we had a hard workout today, and we had a little bit of a come into Jesus moment. At the end of the day, because it was a tough workout, but I think that's the only way you grow as a staff and as players.
You mentioned staff there, Coach. Tell me about some of the guys you're leaning on this year to help you get this to grow this young football team up.
Listen, I've got a group of dudes that are committed and are of the same mindset that I am, and we're going to be kid first and relationship driven. And I'm not going to change that. As long as I'm, sitting in the head coach's chair, that's what we're going to do. We haven't had a whole lot of change from last year, other than me moving into the defensive coordinator role. Everything else is going to kind of be the same. I'm leaning on the same guys, and we're going to keep doing what we do, and invest in players, not plays.
Gotcha, Coach. I'm curious because okay, you have to go back with me. Give me the three things that every player on your team. And I ask you this every year, and I'm going to ask
Yes.
you again. The
And
three.
I did have a little bit of a change because it's always been these are the team rules.
Okay.
Well, we had a change in verbiage this year. It's the same, but rules are for people that can't meet it.
I got
We're
you.
talking about standards and
Okay.
expectations. So our three standards and expectations are: number one, be a good son.
Right.
I went over this at the parent meeting that we had before we ended spring practice. If and all this stuff is not mutually exclusive. Everybody is, put these three things together: be a great son, be a great student and citizen, and be a great teammate. And those are the things that we build our program on. And one of my coaches serves as the chief of staff, and I tell him every day, listen, man, if we're not meeting these expectations and everything that we do, you need to make sure that we stay on track and remind me, hey, coach, this doesn't answer these three pillars of what our program needs to be built on. So they do a good job help keep me in line and making sure we stay focused on that.
Coach, you're going to be entering your fourth year, and so how do I say this? I've kind of been. We didn't have a lot of turnover in coaching last year, which was a good thing for the county. When does a program? When do you really begin to feel like it's? I definitely know it's not year one. It may not be year two. But when do you definitely start to feel like a program is yours? This is this is your thing now. When does that kick in and occur?
You and I had a little bit of a text conversation the past couple of days, and I made the comment to you that the culture's starting to change.
Right.
Not that the prior culture was bad.
Right.
It's different, and that's when it becomes yours. When your culture becomes your culture, and your expectations are your expectations, and those are starting to get met. That's when the program becomes yours.
Right.
And this will be the first. All the kids in our program now, I've been their only head coach. So I think that kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah. No, I completely agree here with Billy Miller of the Bayside Bears and Coach, of course, that final Monday in July is when everything kicks off. How are you finding the SSAA, Coach? I love the SSAA.
I think it fits what we need in our program because our job as football coaches is to give all of our kids a positive high school experience. And right now, and it's not not knocking anybody else, but if I'm sitting in the FHSAA, I'm not giving my kids the opportunity to have a very positive experience, even though everybody's measuring what the wins and losses. That's not my measuring stick, but kids do need to experience some success, and we feel like that's going to be the best opportunity for us at this time.
And Coach, I don't think people realize how many kids you put off into college. How you're
we signed 6 this past year.
Yeah,
off of a team that we didn't do super well in the win-loss column, but we sent a lot of kids.
Yeah. People need to understand that. And then, we did a signing day down there the year before that. And I think you had 5 or 6 more on the stage. Sir. So 10 or 11 over the last 2 years, Coach. And, that's awfully impressive. Let me ask you this from that standpoint. How do you, and I hate to use the word sell, but how do you, when the recruiters come around, take me through a recruiting stop at Bayside High School?
Well, I learned a lot of stuff working with Coach Sands at my time at O'Galley.
Okay.
He was one of the best at that. But now the recruiting has changed
immensely
because unless you're an ESPN top 150 kid, you're not getting recruited by the big schools. You've got to find where your home is. So when they come in, we've got to make sure that number one, their film is ready, but number two, and probably more importantly, we got to make sure that our kids have great grades, that we're good academically, because it's a heck of a lot easier to sell a kid it's a 3.3 versus a 2.4.
Right.
on a GPA. So we really work hard on working with our administration and our guidance people to make sure our kids are in the right classes, that they're doing everything they're supposed to do academically. And that's another reason we push to the morning practice, because I know I got them on campus. We're not missing.
Yeah,
And
that commitment in the morning too, Coach. That says something about the kids too. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
100%.
Yep.
I mean, and that's what I was going to say. That part of that is showing it's helped build some discipline for us. And a kid that's gonna get up and be sitting at that gate waiting on me at 5:30 in the morning to start practice at 6. Not a lot of kids do that,
No.
and then not a lot of people are that committed, especially when you're struggling to find some wins, which we're going to be able to do because we are going to be competitive no matter what happens and regardless of what the scoreboard says.
Right.
But those kids have buy-in now. And when they have that and they've got, and we talk to them all the time about, hey, what do you have invested? What are you invested? Are you investing time, or are you just spending time? And we want to teach our kids that, hey, let's make this investment together, because coaches are doing the same thing.
I like that. What'd you say? If you're spending time or investing in time?
Yeah, man. Let's invest time. Let's don't spend it.
Yeah, no, I'm with. Listen, man. Same goes for money.
100%. 100%.
I mean, that's the God's honest truth. Time and money. Time is money. Here with Billy Miller from the Bayside Bears. Coach, what do you get a chance to step away from this? How does Billy Miller get away from the game of football?
He's not done a very good job of it. Listen, I took this job January 9th, 2023, and I have not stopped. And I'm not tooting my horn, but I try to. We talk about investing. I'm trying to invest in every kid that comes through our program, whether it's the Caden Bradden, that's one of the best quarterbacks in the area, or it's a third string left tackle on our JV team. They're going to get the same, coaching that the older guys are going to get. But my wife and I did take a trip to Europe. I've got my oldest daughter. She's in Spain right now. Her husband's in the Navy, so keep him in your prayers.
Yes, sir.
And we went over there for 2 weeks and got to spend some time with them. And I've got 2 grandchildren, but my oldest is 10 years old. He's picked up golf, and I get out with him at least once a week in the summer, and we go once a month during the school year. And he goes and wears me out pretty good, but I try to enjoy my time and be where my feet are when I am able to get away from the office and get off the field.
No, I hear you. And Coach, what's the thing that struck you about Spain? What'd you like about Spain?
They live life like it's supposed to be. They don't grind and live to work.
That's what I've heard.
I mean, everything shuts down from 2 to about 6. If you're going out to dinner, it's not going to open until 8 or 9 o'clock. The food is amazing. It's fresh.
Wow.
I mean, we had a blast. I mean, obviously, I had not seen my oldest daughter in almost 2 years at that point. So that was, special, but everything else made it extra special.
Well, that's great.
And we try to, we've got 3 girls, so we try to spend a lot of time with them because they've all got their own families and they're doing their own things. We had a second grandson this past December.
Congratulations.
So that, that's helped me slow down a little bit and kind of enjoy where I'm at.
So you got a 10-year-old that likes golf, and you just had a grandson that was. Do any of the girls or any of the grandchildren, do they, besides the golf, play sports or? Well,
the girls they did gymnastics, competitive cheer. They were athletes growing up, but now they just kind of chase their kids around.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I got you, Coach. The schedule is up on the screen there, and you can't see it, I can't see it, but you got 2 at home to start and 2 on the road to start. You get the first 2 at home, which is good. Kind of take me, tell me about your schedule.
Actually, our second one is on the road.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Crescent City's coming. They're an SSAA school, one of a late edition this year. Don't know a lot about them. I've got a little bit of film, been looking at them. But again, we're kind of focused on us. And then we're going to go over to Holy Trinity, and Coach Brown over there does a heck of a job. I know he's going to have some guys. They threw the ball all around the yard against us last year, so
Yeah.
we got to do a little better job of tackling. And then Coach over at Palm Bay, he's a heck of a football coach. I know he's going to have those kids ready to go. But we're just kind of right now we're just kind of focusing on Bayside.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Trying to get us ready.
I love it when a coach tells me, that's great. I set our schedule up, but the bottom line is, it depends how we execute as to how these games turn out. If I said to you, Coach, with young football teams and programs, I mean, obviously, Coach, you you have these kids, hopefully, and as you said, it can be a transient world out there, and with kids transferring and things of that nature. But what have you learned about this new world of football and how to approach? I mean, have you changed anything, or is it if a kid's going to go, he's going to go?
Well, I don't take it as personal as I used to.
Right.
But I'm not going to change investing in relationships. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, when Judgment Day comes, I'm going to be judged on how I did by taking care and how I did by loving these people's children. And that's how I'm going to approach it. I'm going to be able to say I did right by those kids. And so I'm going to continue to invest in relationships and know that, hey, I'm committed to the 25-year-old version of what you're going to become. Because I want to be able to come watch you get married, or I want you to call me and tell me about your children, or tell me about the business you started, or tell me about if you're going to the workforce or you're going to the military. But I hope you take something from our program, something small that helps you be a successful young man.
No doubt. And, I can remember when I came down to Bayside to do that signing day that time. I was just struck by, I don't know, it was just a feeling there it was a very good feeling. I enjoy my time down there when I'm able to get down there, and I love coming to Bayside. What is it that you think that makes that school special?
Well, I think the coaching staff has done a heck of a job of making this thing special because they invest in the kids. But it's still, even though we're in a transient community, it's still in a lot of ways a community school.
Yes, it is.
And even if we're having a rough year, Friday night there at the Bear Den is still a good time when we put a lot of butts in the seats, and the band's rocking, the cheerleaders are blowing the lights out, and I mean it's a great high school environment.
I want to go back real quick here to the culture part of this, because I think I told you this in text. All the years I've been doing these, I've never had a student athletes text me and say, "When are you interviewing my coach?" I didn't even realize the kids watch these, and so when I had student athletes reach out and say, "Hey man, not once, not twice, or not one or not two," and say, "When are you interviewing our coach? He should have been first." One kid said, Coach Miller should have been first. Mr. Allen, what are you thinking? And I just thought that was the greatest thing. And, that's the culture you're talking about, isn't it?
100%. I want these kids to know, number one, that we love them and we care tremendously for them, and not just as a football player, but as a person. Because after that, football is just a tool, man. Let's be honest with what our job is as coaches and educators. Our job is to make these kids better people when they get out beyond our four walls and graduate. And football is just a great avenue and a great tool for us to use to make that happen.
I've always had a great experience there. From the youth football program, we did Bayside Bears and cheerleading youth flag Friday nights this year, and the turnouts were remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And so, Coach, I always love chatting with you. And so here's the final question. If there were one thing you wanted people to know, and you can only tell me one thing, what would the one thing about your program going into 2026 be? What would be that one thing you wanted people to know?
We're going to stick to doing right by our kids. That's the most important thing that we can do, is taking care of our kids. You may not always like what we're doing, because we're going to hold them accountable. We're going to make sure that we do our very best to instill discipline. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be kid-centered. It's going to be relationship-driven. And, when you were at the signing, when Caden Bradman signed a couple years ago, one of the best compliments I was paid was by him, when his closing comment was, he said, Coach Miller, I could always count on him to do what he said he was going to do. And that meant a lot to me, because that means I'm showing these kids what integrity means.
That's powerful.
And that's important to me.
That's great. And it's, Coach, it really is always great to talk to you. And I'll tell you, man, I love what you do down there. You know that. I've always publicly stated, I've always told you that. I just love the way you teach these kids about life first and football second. He is the head football coach for the Bayside Bears, Billy Miller. Coach, thanks so much for taking. I can't believe we went that long already. Thanks for taking some time here with us tonight.
I appreciate it, and I thank you for everything you do for our area and for high school football and promoting our kids.
Hey, Coach, not a problem at all. It's easy to do with guys like yourself and your program. For Billy Miller, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody. Hang on there for a second, Coach.
All right.
It's about teamwork. It's about working hard. It's about having that discipline. It's about having that faith that you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish.
At Coastal Strength and Barbell, we don't do random workouts. We follow a proven system built for results. Everything we do has a purpose, whether you're an athlete, chasing performance, or you just want to get stronger, healthier, and more confident. We focus on what actually matters. Proper movement, full range of motion, and strength that carries over to real life. With our Coastal Conjugate system, we train with intention by identifying weak points and fixing them so you keep progressing. From beginners to competitive athletes, we meet you where you are and push you forward. If you're willing to work, results will speak for themselves. Coastal Strength and Barbell. Results that show.